Welcome to the HCG Quick Tip. What is financial reporting? To contact HCG, go to our website, www.harbinger-group.com, or the phone number 763-785-1028. To begin our discussion of financial reporting, I'm going to contrast it with SmartView. SmartView is an Excel add-in which is used to create reports and analyses in an ad hoc fashion where you zoom in on dimensions, zoom out on dimensions, pivot, keep only, remove only, those kinds of things to quickly create reports and analyses. On the formatting end of things, it is rather limited by whatever Excel can do formatting-wise and what SmartView actually allows in the creation of a report. Contrast that with financial reporting, whose main purpose in life is to create very highly formatted, book quality reports that you can distribute to the management. You will create financial reporting reports within something called Financial Reporting Studio, and the end users will view and distribute those reports in something called Workspace. Let's take a quick look at both. Here I am in SmartView in Excel, connected to SmartView, which is connected to an S-based database. And with these 5 commands, I can do a lot of things to easily create a report. Things like zoom in, zoom out. I'll zoom in on another and do a pivot, so forth and so on. I'll remove this one, keep only, remove only, so forth and so on. I can do things very quickly and easily for quick ad hoc analyses, but I'm limited to whatever Excel allows me to format. And I'm also limited in that if I don't set up the report right, let's say I move scenario out here and press refresh, it comes back and tells me scenario is out of place, as opposed to financial reporting. Here I am in Financial Reporting Studio creating a financial reporting report. I can put in things like images, so there's my company logo there. I can put in text objects, which include static text, and as you see, text functions that grab things like the aliases from a dimension and so forth. I can put in grids, I can put in charts, so forth and so on. And I can also do lots of formatting, like columns E and F have been formatted in such a way that they are light gray. And some of the other columns have been formatted conditionally so that if the numbers are negative, they'll show up in red, which doesn't show here. But in this case, if the member name is equal to E01, then the formatting of the cells has been done so that those are bolded, and I believe they're also underlined, which you can see there. And so when I view this from Reporting Studio, this is much how the end user would see it in Workspace, where now they have a report and it's a rolling 6-month forecast, as it says there, where my target month is May and I show the preceding 2 months with the actual variance, the current month, which the user selected up here, and then the following 2 months showing the plan, and lastly a quarter to date and year to date based upon the selected month. And if I scroll down here, you can see the chart associated with it. And so the end user can say, well, I'd rather have my rolling forecast based on the month of April instead of May. So they simply select April instead of May, and the report repaints April is now my focus with the 2 months preceding and the 2 months following, as you see there. And I can even change the year in which the rolling forecast takes place. Things like that. But what about the distribution of reports? Let's take a look at that also. Part of the distribution of reports involves the creations of books of reports. First, I've created a very simple report here that I call test, and it just has my products and my sales and cost of goods sold, and the user from this point can select if they want to display the year or month or quarter and which market they want to display and which scenario they want to display. But you might want to create a book of reports. And a book of reports has more than one report in it usually. In this case, my book right now only has one report, and if I double click on it again, I get the same report you just saw me. But if I go into the book itself and start editing it, I can take any or all of the point of view members and decide that I would like to create a group of reports from this one report by selecting multiple members rather than just the current point of view. So I've selected 4 quarters, 4 markets, and 2 scenarios, and I will now save the book. and I'm going to press my refresh button here just to make sure. And now I'm going to view the book again, and now you see that I have not just one report, but I've got a Q1 East actual report, Q1 East budget, so forth and so on. I've got multiple reports from that one book. And so if I click on any one of them, in this case it's the Q1 South budget report, all by the creation of that one report and then placing that one report into a book in which I've selected multiple point of view dimension members. Once you have reports and batches and books that you want to distribute across the enterprise, you create what is called a batch. And I've created a quick batch here which simply contains my test book that we saw earlier. And if I wanted to distribute it across the enterprise, I schedule a batch and go through a wizard here. And I'm going to go through it rather quickly, except for entering my password, which is required. And then once I get to a certain point, I can also create more reports from books based upon the point of view, which I'm not going to do. And ultimately, I get to the destinations where I want to send these reports, and I can send them as email, as PDF attachments to emails, and send them to one or more users, and individual reports out of the entire batch to users as I would like, but that's a more lengthy process than I have time to explain. But in Workspace, we have financial reporting reports, financial reporting books, and ultimately for distribution, financial reporting batches. Contact me, Craig Messenbring, at my email address or by phone if you have any interest in training on financial reporting, Essbase, SmartView, and so forth. Or contact HCG directly via the phone number on the website for any interest in sales, consulting, and/or training. Thanks for viewing this video.